Good afternoon. It is Thursday, January 21st, and it is a fantastic day today. I wanted to bring you a pastor's porch talk. And what I want to do is talk for a minute about what occurred at the Brandon Church on Tuesday evening at 5:30. The council gave their approval for us to participate in a nationwide time of ringing church bells to commemorate 400,000 plus lives lost to COVID-19. And so it has really brought my attention to something we have at the Brandon Church that we want to awaken in our life. And we awakened it Tuesday evening. We invited, right now we have 8 families who have been impacted by COVID-19. 5 of those have had deaths. And so we invited those families who had lost a loved one to come to ring the bell. And so 4 adults rang the bells 10 times each for our 40 rings. It was truly an amazing, very intimate moment, and we were so glad we were able to participate and to call attention to something that we have at the Brandon Church. It made me start thinking about bells in churches, period. And you may not know, but bells first came to be in churches in 400 AD. And they were used to ring at the time of worship. And then later in 600 AD, they started being rung at the time of the Lord's Supper. So it was a very important part of life. And then in the Middle Ages, they spread all over Europe. And then in the early 18th century, when churches were formed in America, it was amazing how those bells were used to be a form of mass communication. For instance, the time of worship, or the ending of a war, or even the death of someone in the community. And they would usually ring the bells for the number of years the person had lived. And so they have continued to be part of our life in the church. And we at the Brandon Church have a wonderful set of bells. And so we rang those Tuesday night. And it was a part of the mass communication as the early churches in our country used their bells. And so we remembered even those words from 1 Thessalonians 4, when we said, "We want to be quite certain, sisters and brothers, about those who have died, to make sure we do not grieve about them like the others without hope. We believe that Jesus Christ died and rose again, and it will be the same for those who have died in Jesus Christ." So it's a very special moment. And I don't know if you use this word very often, tintinnabulation, but Edgar Allan Poe really popularized that word back in the early 19th century when he wrote a poem entitled "The Bells." And here are just a few of the words from that poem. "What a world of solemn thought their monody compels in the silence of the night, at the melancholy menace of their tone. For every sound that floats from the rust within their throats is a groan, And the people, the people, they that dwell up in the steeple all alone, all who tolling, 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 in that muffled monotone, feel a glory so rolling on the human heart a stone. And so those bells made all of us who were there experience that glory. There is a sound of the bells that is unlike any other sound, whether it's the Brander bells or the bells in our steeple. And we are determined that we are going to ring out that wonderful sound a lot more than we have been. And so even at the conclusion of this, I want it to be our prayer to listen to those bells tolling today 40 times. So I want to remind you that Sunday morning is a very important day for us at the Brander Mill Church. We will be dedicating all our commitments for 2021 as we say together that we believe even when. So please join us Sunday and listen now as our prayer tolls for all of us. Thank you.